Alright, as you see here, we already have a cigar that's already put together. This is the filler. So these two components for this particular blend will comprise of your Seco leaf, which is Seco leaf here, your Ligero leaf here. So this is the Seco leaf is gonna be for your combustion. Of course, your Ligero is gonna be for your strength. Alright, then we're using a Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. The wrapper is gonna be, it's here. It's gonna have some spice on it. I'll say black pepper, not more so than white pepper. And that's what the comprise of the Habano cigar is that we're gonna do today. So for the wrapping portion, I already did this portion here, and then after I do that, I'll show y'all the bunching portion. So we'll start with the bunching portion first. So when you have a binder and filler, we already know that bind means to hold. So a binder leaf here is sometimes they be rusticated like this. In this process, it doesn't necessarily really matter because this is the inside of the cigar. This is what's gonna burn. It's just holding it together. So you see these leaves here. So we just spreading them out, and I really just did this just to show y'all what they look like. So if somebody wants to come feel them, feel free. Kind of get your hands on them. If y'all want to touch them, smell them, that's all good with me. All right, so these are your Shabanda leaf here. All right, so then you have your Seco leaf. Seco leaf here. They're pretty flexible. This is for your combustion. This is combustion portion here. All right, so we use the Dominican style. You can either use the accordion way or the untubo method. The Cuban style of rolling, preferably use the accordion way. So I'll kind of demonstrate when you get ready to bunch, just for the sake of showing. All right, so typically speaking, a half circle like so. This will be considered the accordion way, which is a half circle. All right. The complete untubo method is you'll literally roll the leaf into a circular format. All right. So now when you're bunching the leaves, you always make sure once they're in your hand, you do not take them out. And this is for weighting purposes. So now the Dominican style of rolling uses a buncher, and so the buncher machine is pretty much you lay the leaves in there, you pull it. Y'all ever seen a top roller before? Yeah, it's rolling the shaggy stuff, but we ain't putting the shaggy stuff in it. But it's a giant one of those. All right, so it's a giant top roller. So the Cuban method does the exact opposite. Everything's completely handmade. It's all about the touch, so you know how something feels in your hand. So right now we're doing the bunching. Again, I'm doing the accordion method. So as you see, I'm kind of sorting through the leaves. Some of them I say, okay, I may care for this one more than another one, then I'll pick that. If I don't like it, I just go on to the next leaf. So that's it. All right. So you'll split down the end. I'm de-stemming the leaf. So at any portion, do you feel that they might rip, then you just pretty much line them up here. So what we're doing is we're making a robusto. We can also tell that it's a 50 by 5. So my hand print is about 5 inches wide. So that's palm print. So when we're looking at length 5 inches long. At this portion is where we will rip the leaf. So again, on this particular blend, we're using 3 to 5 Seco leaves, no more than 5, but it depends on how big the leaf is. If the leaf has more weight than the other ones, then we'll use a bigger leaf. If it's a smaller leaf or a more tethered leaf, then we'll use more leaves until we get that equation. Of course, here now we have your Ligero leaf. The Ligero leaf has a little more weight on it. This is what's going to give you your strength. All right, so you only need one of these. So now you don't want to put too much of it, or it's gonna have a bad effect. So again, same scenario on tubo. All right, and then once you get the leaves piled up, you got your blend. It feels right in your hand. You don't want it to have a tight draw, and you also do not want it to be an air tunnel, a wind tunnel. Okay, so if you push it, if you ever pull it through your cigar just seems like it's just coming straight through. It's too loose. It's problematic to the cigar burning evenly. If it's too tight, of course we know that's uncomfortable for everybody. So that's all gonna be contingent on how much tobacco is in the blend during the blending portion, and to make sure that once we get to wrap the cigar and place it into a press, that it's not too tight. So now right at this portion, see how I ripped them out. So now this is approximately 5 inches long. Of course, you can see if it lays here, it'll kind of match with the mold. All right. So at the end, we'll kind of trim those ends. All right. So now when you get these loose leaves, you see now like a butter brush. Once we rip the leaves, you mismatch them. So you lay the butter brush end on this side with the stem on the inside, and then you'll do the opposite until you're out of leaves. till you out of leaves. And then once you got that done, that's when you'll actually get a chance to put it into a mold and sit. So now, when you're ready to place the cigars into a mold, preferably we're talking about anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. Then you will rotate. So these particular cigars have been sitting in a mold maybe an hour, give or take. So they have a certain length of fullness. It's a technique to even put them in the mold. So now we have the mold here. I kind of hold it up so y'all can see. All right. So now we use both parts of the leaf. No parts of the leaf go unused. All right. So you use from left to right. Okay. So if you want to roll, if we split one of the leaves down the middle, we use one side of the right leaf, one side of the left leaf. So when you break the leaf down, you roll right to left. If you're rolling right to left, that's going to be a left-sided cigar. If you're rolling left to right, it's going to be a right-sided cigar. So the mold will be split evenly. Five cigars will be a right leaf. The other 5 will be a left leaf. That's when we get to use the actual wrapper portion of the cigar that we're actually having 2 sides. All right, so when you actually get a chance to spread this leaf here, this will be one cigar, this will be another cigar. So I end up pulling one cigar from the right side, one cigar from the left side. One leaf, a wrap, 2 cigars. Y'all with me? All right, cool. All right, so now we finna get ready to, I hope y'all paying attention. I'm gonna pick somebody to roll with it.
I just want to get this second.
All right. I'm gonna pick somebody to come do it. So now, when we get ready to spread the leaves, this is the wrapper leaf again. This is the Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. It's gonna give you that pepper. Depending on how I'm feeling, I can make it medium plus. But the Dreamcatcher Series #1, which is the cigar that we have online, it's our first cigar. Our first cigar, that's gonna be a medium body cigar. I wanted everybody to be able to enjoy it, something that's easily pairable with either wine, bourbon, scotch, whatever your personal preference is. All right, so now as you see, I'm now spreading the leaves apart. So most of the times when they come, they look like this here. They're bunched up. All right, so this is when the spreading them comes out. All right, so I'm starting to spread. The thing is, we spread, when we roll cigars, we do not roll from the palm, we roll from the fingers only. So literally, your palm is only used for a stabilizing of sorts. So here, you'll place, the technique is, technically, you find the stem in the middle of the leaf, place your palm. Once you place your palm, it's a smooth caress, like you'll pet a cat. You know, just picture yourself as an Egyptian emperor and you're rubbing a cat. You know, I often remember the time video. That's the perfect one. All right, so, all right, you only want to, you spread the leaves apart and you do it on both sides. All right, so now this is before we do the de-stemming method. All right, so now there's 2 ways to de-stem. So now we have the leaves spread apart. So how you test the quality of the leaf, that's what they call the heated lamp test. So technically they used to have like a little bulb sitting somewhere, and if they can see straight through the leaf was a bad quality, and they'll probably end up using it as a binder leaf. All right, so now we're getting ready to start the de-stemming portion. All right, so now they have a fancy way of doing this, which, you know, sometimes you got to kind of be good at it. But you can de-stem this slow, or what they call, if you don't want to take your time, you can be fancy. So then it's it. So now we got the leaf. We'll be fancy. So now the leaf is 2 parts at this portion. We got a right and a left side leaf. So if we decide to roll on the right side first, or right to left, or left side of the leaf, we can cut it like so. So again, we still want to spread the leaf out. Make sure we know what we're looking at. So right now we're looking at this leaf. This leaf will be a right side cigar, so you'll be rolling from left to right. So I'm gonna roll from right to left first. So, all right, now this is a bad analogy, but this is how they taught us. They taught us in school when we were learning this. So when you're on the right, when you're rolling a left side cigar, is light. It's bad. So it's like. Light skin inside, dark skin outside. All right. Don't repeat that, but for the sake of teaching y'all. Light skin inside, dark skin outside. All right. So now this is how you know what side of the cigar you roll. When you rolling to the left, you're gonna have it's gonna be the inside of the cigar. When you rolling on the outside to the right, it's gonna be the dark side when you cut it. So again, if you can tell, I'm getting ready to use the ciabatta at this point. Now this is when y'all know how grandma's cooking. Y'all kind of mix it up. You don't eat everybody's potato salad. You don't eat everybody's spaghetti. Same scenario applies. You kind of put your own little twang on this. All right. So it's a technique to it. When you're using the ciabatta is a cut knife. For everybody who doesn't know, this is ciabatta. This is the only knife that's used for professional cigar rollers. I don't think it'll be used for cookie dough cutters and pizza cutters. I guess they improvising, but they are not professional. Okay, so now when you use a cutting knife, so it's not like a traditional knife, like a a stabbing knife or a ninja knife. It's not like that. The method is you roll. So everything with this cigar is concerned, using the knife is a rolling method. So y'all, I don't know what they call it. They used to have like a little knife they used to kill people. They just swing back and forth, a pendulum, or maybe call that. So the same thing. All right, so when you get ready to cut the cigar, first thing you're looking for is you need the tip. The tip is what you're gonna, is the cigar's base. This is where you're gonna start the cigar from the foot to the head of the cigar. You don't want to cut, again, when spreading the leaves, make sure you don't have an ugly cigar. So, Steph, you mind passing me one of those cigars out of that box? Just for demonstration purposes. So if you have miscutting or some dips here or here, it'll show on the outside. I don't necessarily think it'll affect the quality of the smoke, but y'all paying y'all money for stuff. I know y'all wanted to look aesthetically pleasing. So all right, here's one that's using a Cuban triple cap. So for the demonstration purpose, I'm gonna do a pigtail, which will be like the ones that are behind y'all in the humidor. Hey, Stan, you might pass me one of those, bro? Stanley, everybody. So this is a pigtail. This is a Cuban triple cap. So learnings about cigars, the first thing they wanted to emphasize was the importance of the Cuban triple cap. That's they trademark. That's what they based everything off of. So a person who can master the triple cap, they consider a certified roaster. So you had to do that. Now me, I like the pigtail, could add a little swag on it. I just like that. I like the way they look. So I do both, depending on how I feel. So I can't really show y'all both right now because I didn't bring the other one. I'll show y'all the pigtail. We can put that back in the